Hello again, John Blowers here again. Just as a recap, we are talking about passive house, zero carbon construction, energy efficiency. Look at how we can prevent fuel poverty, climate change, anything that and everything to do with how we can make less of an impact on this amazing planet. We've been talking about passive house. We're going through all the principles of it and how it works. We can't go through all the information, we just wouldn't have time. But we're touching on every subject we can. The next thing on the list to do with passive house is airtightness. What do we need airtightness for and why does it work? Well, airtightness is a way of controlling the environment within an insulated envelope, which is the passive envelope, if you like. So the idea is to be able to control that environment. Every time we have a draft, that draft within your house is taking energy out of the build. So we want to contain it as much as possible. Therefore, we use an airtight membrane. There's many different types out there. We're only going to cover one here, a couple of products here, but there are many different types. So do look at what is suitable for you and your product or your build. The one we're using is called Intello. This is a twin-walled membrane. As you can see, is clearly marked where you can cut it. What I like about this, it gives you all the information you need to know to put this stuff on. It gives you the overlap, gives you a line to tape to. Now the secret of this, when you put this on, when you staple this or fix this to a wall, is to keep within these lines. That way you're always overlapping or taping over anything that you use to fix with. That way you're instantly creating an airtight seal. It gives you increments of 100 mils, so you can always cut square on both ends. And the great thing about it is it's really tough and it will take a bit of a beating and still remain airtight. As I say, many different products out there. Do look at the one that would be most suited to your project. To put those together, we use a tape. Again, many different tapes out there. They're all very expensive, but they do a good job. This is a Tescon Varna. This is warranted for about 50, 60 years. We know this does the job. But do use the correct membranes and do use the correct tapes for those membranes. That way you'll get the maximum effect for the airtightness. Now what we do is when we have a look at this little model here. So it goes onto a backboard. That board can be pretty much anything, whether it's a fireboard, just a racking board, that needs to go directly onto that. And that forms a nice solid base behind it. With an Intello, as long as you've got a solid base behind it, if you put a fixing into that, it self-airtights. If you can, put a bit of tape over anyway. But airtightness is key to a passive house and energy efficient house because that's how we control our environment. We also put a counter batten on. The 2x1 batten or lath, that creates a service void. So therefore we can put electrics, plumbing, anything else over the top of this without going into the void of our walls. So that's airtightness. That needs to be around doors, it needs to be around windows. Every joint, everything you do needs to be taped and airtight. And we will go into more detail that in other videos when we come into fixing windows and that type of thing.